Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to use graphite modeling tools to model a terrain. So we're going to begin with a plane. And then under modeling tools, we want to make sure that we convert this to editable poly. And then under freeform, we can select paint to form and push and pull tools. We can also constrain the push and pull strength and the brush size. And dragging it across the surface creates a rough terrain. And then going back to modeling tools, under generate topology, there are several patterns that you can pick to randomize the kind of subdivisions that we have on the terrain. So I'm just selecting and undoing until I find a pattern that I like. And under iterations, we're going to keep this at 3. Once we're done, we can close topology. And going back to editable poly, we want to make sure that we have polygon selected so that I can then go under graphite modeling tools and selection tools to create my random selections. Okay, so now I'm going to randomly select, and under selection tools, what you'll find are some useful tools like selecting patterns, or under modeling, we can also modify the selection by selecting loop or ring, which gives a lot more flexibility than to select individual polygons. So loop and ring just selects adjacent polygons. And I'm just going to drag my mouse across the terrain to create a randomized selection. Once I'm done with that, under editable poly, I can go under extrude and extrude by polygon. This is to create kind of a rocky path along this terrain. Once I'm satisfied with this, I find that I have quite a rough shape, so I want to make this a little bit smoother, and a modifier for that would be turbo smooth. I'm just going to find turbo smooth. Let's go up to iterations, and we don't want too many iterations because 3ds Max doesn't work very well, so iterations of 3 is more than enough. And there we have it. Now we have a terrain that is modeled using graphite modeling tools. I can make this terrain even more complex by repeating my loop and ring selections. So I'm just going to select different points on the terrain and apply a ring selection. I can also do that over here, there. But instead of just loop and ring, notice how I also have grow, shrink. So perhaps I'm going to demonstrate how to use grow and shrink. Under modify selection, you can use grow, and what this does is that it creates a randomized selection that just expands along the surface. And once I'm happy with that selection, I have a range of editable poly tools that I can use. Maybe I'll try inset. Just to see what this will create. I find that using graphite modeling tools can be quite useful when you're not really sure how the terrain will look like, so It's useful for experimental form finding. Perhaps the model is a little too complex for inset. This doesn't really create anything, so maybe I'll just delete the selector mesh. And now I have a partial mesh, and I'm quite happy with what is remaining. So I'm just going to drag another plane across, and this is where flat land is located. And now I have a terrain created using graphite modeling tools.